Okay, well, welcome everybody to our workshop, and it's on pedestrians on the roadway. And I'm Umit Ozguner, professor emeritus at Ohio State, and I'm grateful to everybody who's participating. And I understand we have 140 registrants from, apart from the U.S., 9 different countries. So that's very much an international workshop, and there are a lot of the individual speakers are from my research group. Although I would like to welcome the participation of two individuals who are not necessarily my students, and look forward to hearing their presentation. Uh, let's see. I'd like to give just a very brief introduction of the motivation. I started on this, and my group started on this work looking mostly on pedestrian crowds and the dynamics of purely pedestrians. And the relationship to transportation has been that we're interested in slow people movers in pedestrian areas. And then we got into cars and shared spaces. And you can see two pictures that reflect that and on your screen. Then, so we came at it from sort of a different direction with crowds. And then we sort of said, well, maybe we should be taking a look at single pedestrians. And so we went into pedestrians crossing roadways, uh, and uh, and address some interesting problems. And I'd like to point at two photographs there, which were provided by one of my sponsors in a totally different project. But I spent a lot of time thinking about at least one of those pictures, which shows a car approaching a bus stop. And there were a number of issues that were problematic here. Uh, First, there were sort of pedestrians in the far away distance that may be crossing that we wanted to be aware of. Second, there were nearby pedestrians that were facing the street and could be crossing. And third, there were sort of obstructions that occluded possible pedestrians approaching the street. You can see the backside of the bus stop, and I spent a lot of time thinking about that picture and the fact that there could be occluded pedestrians who could be running across the street to reach the bus on the left side, across on the other side. So that picture, for me at least, provided a number of different interesting possibilities. The other was a picture on the right bottom corner, which is not an urban area, and you can see the trees on both sides of the road. And I was told that there was an open field where people played soccer on one side, and those playing soccer and those watching them after the game could be emerging from between the trees and getting onto the roadway, which created some interesting issues. So we got interested in emerging occluded pedestrians, intent of pedestrians at the side and far away pedestrians, and you'll get to see and hear reflections about these questions throughout the next 3 hours. And remember that a lot of this is still ongoing work, and we look forward to talking about it either right now or certainly afterwards if you send me email, and possibly collaborating about it if you're interested. This brings me to my thanks. A lot of the work that my group will be talking about here was supported at least partially by the Department of Transportation UTC program, Support comes through the center at Carnegie Mellon University. I would like to acknowledge a lot the contributions of Professor Redmill. He's not one of the speakers, but he has certainly contributed to a lot of the talks that you'll be hearing. I do want to mention three different universities whose collaboration you will see here: Nagoya University, the Technical University of Clausthal, Dalian University of Technology, and they will all be mentioned throughout the talks. And certainly I'd like to thank OSU Center of Automotive Research and the Center of Automotive Research staff for all the wonderful organizational machinery that you'll be the beneficiaries of throughout this meeting. And on a side there is a recent publication from the GAO that recognized that the work we're doing in pedestrian and visited us and mentioned some of our views in a very recent report on pedestrian safety. And if you're not aware of it, do take a look at it. So with that, I'd like to thank you all and would like to switch over to hand over the running of the meeting, in fact, to Dr. Ekim Yurtsever, who will take over at this point. And I look forward to any questions you may eventually have or any emails you may want to send. And thank you all for attending. Okay.
Thank you for the introduction. Now we will begin with our main session. We will first start our session about pedestrian vehicle interaction and crowd vehicle interaction. The first speaker will be Dongfang Yang from our group. He is a PhD student and he's soon to be graduated. So Dongfang, without further ado, I welcome you and you can begin your presentation.